What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Truck Talk. I get a text message from random numbers at least once a day telling me that I need to register to vote and asking why I haven't registered to vote. And I got an interesting one today that actually inspired me to make this Truck Talk for you guys. And the message that I got today, some number texted me a little picture. And it was like an aerial view of a neighborhood. And above each of the houses, there was a little like circular thing. And in the little circle, it said, if it was green, it said registered to vote. And then above like another house, there would be a little red little blurb thing, and it would say not registered. And it was over every house in the neighborhood. And then under down at the bottom of that picture, it said, your neighbors will know if you don't register to vote. And then the actual text portion of this message that was sent to me said, records indicate that you are not registered to vote. Voter registration is a matter of public record. And if you refuse to vote, your neighbors will know. And I thought, you know what, man? Who are these people? Who are these freaking people that are putting together these campaigns and sending out these messages to private numbers and trying to scare people into going and voting? Like, your neighbors are going to know if you don't vote. You better go register. Like, it reminds me of when Joe Biden, one of the many times he threatened all of us, told us we better prepare ourselves for a winter of sickness and death. Like, it's like, who are these people, man? So obviously I don't give two craps what you or my neighbor or anybody else thinks about my decision to vote or not vote. Now, I know that's not a popular stance. And I know that everyone else on social media, every other influencer, military guy, politician, everybody's telling you gotta get out and vote, right? I know everyone's telling you that. And I know that old Chad is sitting here telling you, I don't freaking vote, man. And I know that's not popular. I'm not telling you you shouldn't vote. I'm not telling you you should vote. That's your decision. Use your mind. But I believe I can defend my position. I can defend my decision to not vote pretty well. And I think there are a lot of guys like me too. But a lot of people are embarrassed to stand upon their decision to not vote. I have all the time. I have friends that come up to me and ask me, "Hey Chad, are you going to vote?" And I say, "No, man. I'm not voting." And they say, "Yeah, I'm not either." Like, they're like, they feel bad about their decision for some reason. It's like, well, let's talk about why. All right, now if you can't defend your decision not to vote, then we need to, like, if you haven't reasoned in your mind why you're making that decision, if you're just purely being lazy, well, then that's different. We need to have a different conversation. And that's kind of what this text message was placating to people who have come to the decision that I've come to, and just like playing on their shame, right? But enough about that. Again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you to vote or not to vote. I'm telling you what I do, because why not? And I don't give a crap what anybody thinks. Why don't I vote? Well, we could beat the dead horse about the fact that I truly don't believe that our votes mean anything. I truly do not believe that our vote counts for jack squat. We could beat that dead horse all day, man. You know, it would be funny if all the citizens of the United States decided to not vote, like secretly. We came up all with a plan not to vote. And then when election day rolled around and we could watch the news and watch them talk about all the tens of millions of votes that came in for whatever candidate was being installed for that election term. That would be funny. That would be a great experiment. But that is truly what I believe. Don't believe that our vote has, maybe it has never really mattered or been counted. But especially now with the electronic voting machines and all this stuff. I mean, give me a break, dude. Give me a break. Anyways, I don't want to beat that dead horse because that's not even foundationally the reason why I decide not to vote. The foundational reason is because I do not view the federal government that is right now in power, I do not view them as legitimate. I do not view their right to govern as legitimate. And I have reasons for that we'll get into. And so if I say this federal government that is in power right now, if I do not view their right to govern as legitimate, I believe they're unconstitutional. I believe they're totally against the values and the principles that America was founded upon. If I don't view them as legitimate, well, if I go and vote, then what I'm actually doing is I'm actually legitimizing something that I don't view as legitimate, that I don't believe is legitimate. You see what I'm saying? If I go and vote, I'm giving credence to a government that needs to be completely abolished. I'm giving credence to them, right? I'm playing into their game. I'm continuing to play their game and legitimize the fact that it exists the way it exists. And I'm just not willing to do that, man. I'm just not willing to do that. So until the people of the United States of America become so oppressed, so persecuted, so downtrodden that we can all, that a good bunch of us can get together and say, no, you know what? We are not casting a ballot for the candidate that's been put forth by this illegitimate government. We are actually going to choose our own candidates and we are going to hold our own elections. Until that happens, I'm not going to vote. Probably not. Or maybe if there was a legitimate third-party candidate that came into the mix, maybe then I would vote. You guys see what I'm saying? For some of you guys, this is going to make sense to you. For some of you guys, this is not going to make sense to you. Now, when I say I don't view the federal government as a legitimate authority or a legitimate government that should be in place here in the United States of America, a lot of you guys are saying like, well, what are you talking about, Chad? Well, I want you to be real here. The federal government that is in power, that exists, I mean the entire conglomerate, not just the president, like the whole conglomerate and the cabal that it is, all it is doing is persecuting us. It is simply persecuting the people. Like, did everybody forget what happened in 2020 and 2021? You don't want to think about it, man. You don't want to remember. Do you know how many deaths, how many people's lives were lost because of this federal government? Because of the lies and the deceit and the wickedness that they blatantly portrayed in front of all of us? Do you guys forget that you no longer own private property? You no longer own anything. Do you understand that? This illegitimate government has levied a tax upon every single piece of our lives, to the point that we work 6 months out of every single year to pay that money to the government, to the point that you don't own private property, because if you stop paying your property tax, they will come and take it from you. Will take your property from you. To the point that if you don't pay tax on the money that you earn for your private income, that they will come and find you and eventually lock you up after they take everything you have from you. All they are doing is persecuting us as the citizens of this country. And they have committed, I believe, to be the worst crimes against humanity I know for a fact that have been perpetrated in my lifetime during the years of 2020 and 2021. And see, both of these candidates that are in the running for presidential election, look, man, Donald Trump. I love Donald Trump, man. He's still the candidate that's being put forth by the illegitimate federal government that is in power right now. Same with Kamala Harris. I'm not voting for any of their candidates. Ain't gonna do it. It's a matter of freaking principle, man. I'm not gonna give credence or legitimacy to the actual existence of them or their right to govern us. You know, I've heard people say that the government is not functioning. No, that's incorrect. The government is functioning. It's highly functioning. It's functioning against you and it's functioning against me. And it is too entrenched and it is too large and it is too freaking deep to be changed by policy or reform or you name it, man. So one day maybe you'll see old Chad vote. When, again, we the people become so persecuted, so oppressed, so downtrodden, that a bunch of us get together and we say, no, we are not voting for your candidates anymore because we don't view you as legitimate. We're actually going to hold our own elections and establish a government that's founded upon the Constitution of the United States and that serves in order to preserve the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness of our citizens and make this country a safe place to live. And that's it. Then you'll probably see old Chad vote. So just wanted to throw that out there. Again, this will make sense to a lot of you guys. To a lot of you guys, it won't make sense. I know it's contrary to everything that you are hearing and that you have heard all your life. But maybe it made you think. And that's the point, many times, of these truck talks, is to make you think. So, drop me a comment. Let me know what you think, if it did make you think. If you got anything out of it, go get you a hat, get you a t-shirt, man. Keep my man Chili in the dungeon. It's because of you guys that I'm able to keep these truck talks coming. I'll catch you on the flip-flop. Enough said.